Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true.
It's deadly days and dying nights in Baltimore. Murder USA, Baltimore homicide countdown. 1000 block of North Monroe Street, child hit by gunfire. What was a child doing out on the city streets in the wee hours of the morning? This is a question many observers of the mean streets of Baltimore might ask. On July 16, 2019, at 1:46 a.m., officers were called to an area hospital for the report of a walk-in shooting victim. When officers arrived, they found a 13-year-old female being treated for a gunshot wound to her leg. Investigators believe on July 15, 2019, at approximately 11:15 p.m., the victim was in the 1000 block of North Monroe Street when she heard gunshots and realized she was shot. The victim was transported to the hospital by a family member. Detectives in the Western District are investigating this incident. 3800 block of Hanover Street. Buy one, get one. On July 16, 2019, at 3:12 a.m., officers were called to the 3800 block of South Hanover Street for the report of a shooting. When officers arrived, they found two shooting victims. The first victim's 22-year-old man with a gunshot to his stomach. The second, another 22-year-old with a gunshot wounds to his body. Both victims were transported to a hospital. Murder number 177 for 2019. Killer shot and killed one person, then shot Sergeant Bill Shiflett at the Man Alive Drug Clinic on Maryland Avenue in Baltimore. The wounded cop was dragged to safety by Officer Christopher Miller. A shooting at the Man Alive Drug Clinic on July 15, 2019, left an innocent victim, David Caldwell, 52, a phlebotomist at the clinic. He was shot dead, and the Baltimore police sergeant wounded, and the gunman, Ashante Owen Pinckney, 49, being killed by return police gunfire as well. Baltimore Police Commissioner Michael Harrison said Sergeant Shiflett, a 25-year veteran of the Baltimore Police Department, was rescued by another officer after being shot at the methadone clinic. Harrison identified Officer Christopher Miller, 32, who dragged his supervisor to safety as the hero of that day. Murder number 176 for 2019, 200 block of North Linwood Avenue. Police said on July 15, 2019, at 1:15 a.m., officers were called to the 200 block of North Linwood Avenue with the report of a shooting. When officers arrived, they found two shooting victims, one a 22-year-old man who was rushed to a hospital where he died, and a second gunshot victim who was shot in the leg and will likely live. 1700 block of West Fayette Street, self-inflicted. Did this Baltimorean shoot himself in the foot? On July 14, 2019, at approximately 3:15 p.m., Western District Patrol officers responded to the 1700 block of West Fayette Street with a report of a shooting and found a silly male complaining that he was shot in the foot. Guess who might have done that one? 400 block of Furl Street, just winged. A guy who was hit twice apparently didn't beat feet fast enough in the hood. Baltimore police said on July 14, 2019, at approximately 12:20 p.m., Southwest District Patrol officers responded to the 400 block of Furl Street for a report of a man who was shot in the wrist and leg. Apparently he didn't shoot himself in the foot. The man was rushed to a hospital, and minutes later, a 17-year-old female walked into the hospital suffering from a gunshot to the shoulder. Murder number 175 for 2019, 3800 block of Egerton Road, man dead, shot in head. On July 14, 2019, at approximately 5:22 p.m., Northwest District Patrol officers responded to the 3800 block of Egerton Road for the report of a shooting and found a 26-year-old man suffering from a gunshot wound to the head, and soon he was dead. Murder number 174 for 2019, 600 block of East 38th Street, not shot in head, still dead. Baltimore police report another murder on July 13, 2019, at approximately 10:05 p.m. Northern District Patrol officers responded to the 600 block of East 38th Street for a report of a shooting and found a man who had gunshot wounds to the neck and arm and soon thereafter died after being rushed to a hospital by the meat wagon. 5500 block of Bel Air Road, the wing is the thing. He still has two unwounded wings. Police said on July 13, 2019, at approximately 12:26 p.m., Northeast District Patrol officers responded to the 5500 block of Bel Air Road for a report of a 15-year-old man who had Male who had gunshot wounds to the arm and a leg. No report if it was the left or the right of the appendages. Murder number 173 for 2019, 600 block of East Biddle Street. David O'Corey confessed to killing his girlfriend and setting the house on fire to cover up the crime. This killer needed to claim credit as the fire department worked to put out the fire. He says he started. Baltimore police on July 11, 2019 at approximately 4:47 a.m. The fire department responded to a vacant dwelling that was on fire on East Biddle Street. Once the fire was put out, the firefighters observed the body of the woman, later identified as 52-year-old Anita Cheek. The fire department investigated determined the fire had been set deliberately, and the homicide decks were called to take over. The detectives found a volunteer for the crime in the person of David Okorochi of the 620 Fallsway Street, Baltimore, Maryland, who was at the crime scene claiming to live in the vacant dwelling with his pregnant girlfriend. Police say that the 6'5", 320-pound man confessed to stabbing his girlfriend and setting the fire. He's charged with first-degree murder and is being held without bail. Murder number, we don't know a number for this one. For 2019, hospital ER, man walked in with a gunshot in head, left on a gurney to the medical examiner's office with a toe tag. Baltimore police said on July 11, 2019, at approximately 8:20 p.m., Central District Patrol officers responded to an area hospital for a report of a walk-in shooting victim who later died and got a ride in a medical examiner's van for an autopsy. Murder number 170 for 2019, Manuel Luis, Morgan State student, well-liked. Luis was found dead on July 11, 2019, in his car on Loch Raven Boulevard with gunshot wounds near the entrance to a housing area for students. Luis, a Morgan State University student, was one of 5 people who was shot that night, with 2 of them dying. Murder number 171 for 2019, 5600, the Alameda, 1 dead, 2 injured. On July 11, 2019, at approximately 6:56 p.m., Northern District Patrol officers responded to the 5600 block of the Alameda for a report of a shooting and found an unidentified man and 2 women shot. They were rushed to a hospital. The man died of a mortal shot to the torso, while the women had less tragic wounds. Murder number 172 for 2019, man stabbed to death. No guns needed here. On July 11, 2019, at approximately 3:13 p.m., homicide detectives responded to the 300 block of East Belvedere Avenue for a man who had been stabbed several times, and when the meat wagon was called, medics found any transport to be unneeded due to the expiration of the victim. Was this bozo practicing his draw? On July 11, 2019, at approximately 2:45 p.m., police said a 28-year-old man must have been screwing around with a gun and drawing his weapon to practice for the deadly streets of Baltimore murderland. Police say the man had arrived at a hospital with a gunshot to his foot. Police didn't note which foot was wounded. Murder number 168 for 2019, man dead, shot in head. July 10, 2019, at approximately 9:50 p.m., Eastern District Patrol officers responded to the 1200 block of Milton Street with a report of a shooting and found a man who had been shot in the head and was later declared dead at a hospital. The victim was later identified as Jamal Allen, 25, a black male of Baker Street in Baltimore, Maryland. 2000 block of Westwood Avenue, only shot in the forearm. On July 10, 2019, at approximately 1:05 a.m., Western District officers received a shot spotter alert in the 2000 block of Westwood Avenue, and an officer who was on a car stop in the area was flagged down by a man who was driving an SUV. The man stated his friend who was with him had been shot in the left forearm. Anthony Washington Sr. arrested for domestic-related attempted murder. Being beaten and abused is a part of life in Baltimore for many women. For one woman, a gunshot was added to the drama. Baltimore police said on July 6, 2019, at approximately 8:50 a.m., officers responded to a home in the 1200 block of Meridine Avenue for a shooting and found a woman who had been shot in the back by her boyfriend following a dust-up. Following a brief foot chase with police, officers arrested Anthony Washington Sr. and charged him with attempted murder. Murder number 107 for 2019. Lawrence Banks arrested for murdering his 43-year-old daughter. May 12, 2019, at approximately 3:48 p.m., the body of a woman was found near the Chris Clark's Lane Garden Apartments dumpster. At the time of discovery, she was wrapped up, dismembered, and placed inside of a shopping cart. Lawrence Banks, 66 of Clarks Lane, has been charged with the murder of his daughter, Dominique Foster, 43. 1000 block of Walter Avenue, Devon Seeger is wanted for attempted murder on July 2nd, 2019 at approximately 10:50 p.m. A 33-year-old woman was shot in the back of her head inside of her home in the 1000 block of Walker Avenue. After shooting the victim, the suspect grabbed a knife and attempted to stab her in the torso. The victim was able to escape from the suspect and get help. The victim identified the suspect as 26-year-old Devon Seeger of the 2700 block of Edison Highway. A warrant has been issued for Seeger's arrest, charging him with first-degree attempted murder. Seeger also has two other open warrants, one for kidnapping and another for sexual assault from 2018. Seeger has managed to elude police and continues to commit violent crimes, and the cops want him. Just call 911 if you know where he is. That's all for tonight.